Shalom, call Limelight Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And a sincere Shalom to the 144,001 Now, the spirit jumped on me. I watched Manata Zakba, or Manata Zakban God, all right, from the LA camp, where he went over Metal Gear Solid 2, where in the game, these devils spilled the beans on their plan or parts of their plan for this beast system to go into overdrive. So it hopped on me to look into AGI and go into the negative impacts that's gonna inevitably come once AGI is released to the general public, or at least to companies, major companies, minor companies. All right. AGI stands for Artificial General Intelligence. All right. And it could negatively change the world by causing mass unemployment. They already have came out and said they expect 25, 26% unemployment rate. Now, the unemployment rate currently is floating in the mid 4.4%, right around there. 4.4, 4.5, right around there, the unemployment rate. So that's going to lead to around a 600% increase, which would be a fourth of Babylon the Great without a job and never to be able to obtain a job, or at least a job on the level they previously had, on top of the currency getting weaker. Okay, let's get a scripture on that. Let's get two scriptures. Okay. Let's get Isaiah 19. And Isaiah the 19th chapter is going into Babylon the Great. You understand? Not Mizraim, not, okay, those so-called Africans over there. When we were in bondage, our first bondage, this is going into Babylon the Great, which is also called Egypt. So Isaiah 19:15, it reads, "Neither shall there be any work for Egypt." So just mass unemployment. What's going to cause mass unemployment? This AI, AGI, these robots. Okay, then you're going to have wars, trade wars, literal wars. Then you're going to have the currency being devalued. Okay, which the head or tail. So the head or tail represents the top tier, the higher status individuals, and the tail represents your lower status individual. So a higher status individual would be a CEO of a, successful company, bringing in what, $1 million a year, $2 million a year, $3 million a year. They're going to be cooked. And then that'll be the head. And then the tail would be, someone working at Wendy's making 10 an hour, right? Branch or rush may do. So guess what? It's the unemployment is going to hit everybody of all social, economic status. Everybody's going to get hit. And one of the key components is going to be AGI. I saw a video where I think it was a skit. I don't think it was real. Could have been real, though. It didn't seem like a skit, but you never know. The CEO of this company was a robot. And then the robot was going around asking you, what do you bring to the table for this company? What is your job? What is your position? And this is the CEO of the company being a robot, a literal robot. And it had had AI in it to make it smart. Humanoid figure, had on a suit and tie, I'm pretty sure it did, right? So guess what? This here. And this is not going to be they're saying, Bill Gates of hell and all these luminaries. Guess what they're saying? This is going to create more job opportunities and make this place a utopia. They're lying. They're blatantly lying. They want to kill off billions of people and have a small section of people left with the MOTB, okay? As these cyborg slaves. while everybody else is dead, corpses everywhere. Probably have them or robots, whatever, try to clean up the corpses. That's what they want. Okay, and the Most High Yahweh is not with that. All right, he's gonna let Esau get so far until he throws a monkey wrench in there. Let's get that. So this is Job, the 20th chapter, and verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And you go into that word wicked right there. It's not talking about, what you would typically think. When you go into the word wicked there, it's amel, all right, if I'm saying that right. And it goes into a laborer or a sufferer or a workman. So that's going into everybody that's subject to this man's system. You got a SSN, got an ID, they're pushing that digital ID. Okay, that's what that's going into. Ultimately, the ones that's going to rise to the occasion, overcome and conquer the evil that's about to hit is the elect. Everybody else is going to get cooked. They're going to fold and get put to death, man. And the Israelites, the heathen that are still alive, they're going to get their judgment. Nobody's going to escape their judgment. Of course, all Israelites that's not part of the elect in Babylon the Great is going to get melted by them nukes. But guess what? You're still going to have Israelites all over the world and heathen all over the world. And they're not just going to be chilling, living in rocks, Stone Age, whatever. No, they're going to catch judgment. Okay? Let's get back to this AI overview. Exacerbating inequality, facilitating the creation of sophisticated weapons, and potentially leading to a loss of human control over critical systems. Mass job displacement. AGI could perform most economically valuable human tasks, making much of human labor force obsolete, and they're not going to give you no UBI, okay? Unless you take the MOTB, you're going to see a lot of homelessness. I just saw a video in Seattle, middle of the intersection, right? On the side of the intersection, he had a little cardboard box. It was two of them with a bike, homeless people, campfire. You're going to see more of that everywhere. It's going to be like that in every major city because economic slowdown with the replacement. The World Economic Forum talking about replacing people with the AI and the robots and then putting a chip in your brain. So they're blatantly telling you what the prophets of old have written about, specifically John the Revelator. All right. If I'm not mistaken, he's the only one that directly mentioned MOTB. But guess what? Daniel saw the beast. Okay. The beast has been at play for a while. And then through, Abba Bivens on down, the revelation of, the play out of so-called humanity has been revealed to Yahweh's servants, the prophets. You understand? Let's get a scripture on that. This is Amos 3 and 7. Surely Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. There you go. And this, you've been warned for decades about this system. Their end goal, what they want. Erosion of human identity and skills. Yeah, so if the robots are the teachers, they're the doctors, They're doing the surgeries. They're working the warehouses. They're the taxis. They've taken over jobs, doing it safer, cheaper, more efficient than a human ever would. And there's no other jobs that are suddenly going to be created that's going to pay you a livable wage, because there's going to be some type of job open up from these robots coming in, like, greasing the robots, catering to the robots, right? But guess what? That's not going to pay you well. You may get 10 an hour from that, maybe less. How do we know this to be true? All right, let's get this. Because guess what? Hyperinflation is not going to go away. This economic downturn is not going to go away. This is Revelation 6:6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. There you go, hyperinflation. The value of your currency is going to deplete. And a penny represents a day's wage. So there you go. That's how bad it's going to be. And then you're going to have, mass homelessness. Imagine you in your neighborhood. I've seen videos on the news, YouTube, of homeless people, setting up shop near neighborhoods where it's, off the beaten path. Not a lot of traffic on these paths. And the homeless people will set up tent there. It's a more secure location to sleep at than on the intersection, right? And then there, people still live there. They're behind somebody's house. And they're, living there. And people don't want that. So guess what? They may just start putting to death those homeless people. Or those homeless people will start putting them to death, right? Because that's gonna show a clear sign of the haves and the have-nots. Someone that still has a home and is what's coming even now. But imagine when it's significantly worse and you're homeless, you're hungry, and you live right outside this person's house, so you can see their patterns when they go to work, when they come home, who else is in the house. They'll just wait for you to leave the home. Break in, take your food. You got weapons, take your weapon. Take all your weapons that you have in the crib. Take your food, your blankets. Take all your stuff, right? You're going to have a lot of that going on. And then guess what people are going to do? They're going to be extremely weary of people. We already starting to see some of that pop off now. People aren't as friendly as they were 10 years ago, 15 years ago, pre-pandemic, right? This is St. Matthew, the 24th chapter, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, iniquity is sin upon sin, the love of many shall wax cold. There you go. It's going to get worse. When you're going to, be in public, be around people you don't know, be around people you do know. They moving funny, looking at you funny, energy off. Yeah. And this AGI just going to speed this whole process up. Manipulation and misinformation. AGI could generate hyper-realistic, targeted, manipulative media at a massive scale. There you go. That was what the elder out of LA was talking about with the Metal Gear Solid clip. They're going to use this AGI to basically run a smear campaign on social media and the internet to falter the line between man and machine, okay, and bring a justification for the digital ID, because they need to justify the digital ID. They can't just bring it in, without, put it like this. Esau likes to create the problem, to cause a reaction, and then he'll have the solution. So he's already creating the problem, and we're starting to slowly see the reaction, and he already has set in place the solution, which is the digital ID. And then once that's however this devil feels, however the Most High Yahweh feels with this digital system, taking it to the next level, it's going to go further to the end goal, which is to turn you into a cyborg slave, because that's all the MOTB is. The C-hip being put in you, your body's being merged with machine. Okay, that's called a cyborg or android or whatever, right? So there you have it. And this AGI, these mass robots, I'm seeing all these robots. They just did a trial with a robot for a whole year in a Toyota or a Honda factory. And they said that it was good. They liked the results. It's coming. I got a video made posted as a short where China has a fully automated, some type of factory or docking station, fully automated, looking like Skynet, and then China created a combat robot and they named it after a Terminator. There you go. We're here. It's now, 10, 15 years ago, even 5 years ago, right? You were making mention that they're going to do this, and people are like, "Ah, you're crazy, right? You're a cuckoo." And now, guess what? Those same people are about to be unemployed, living in a tent, cardboard box, out on the street. And you know who's going to affect this the most? You women. You women are going to get devoured and trodden down out here, man. And you simps, you Captain Saver, you know what? You gonna get it too, right? So that's it for this lesson. I don't want to rot this out. It was edifying. Hey, shalom.